What's good, guys? This is Joe of All Vapes coming at you with something just a little bit different today. Not your typical e-juice review. Today we're going to be talking box mods. So, cool thing is, March Mod Madness, right? I've been alluding up to this on my previous reviews, driving you guys crazy. Today is the day. So we're going to start with the first out of 7 of our box mods that are coming in between the month of March and probably throughout the rest of the year, leading up to some awesome, exciting new stuff that I'll be getting onto at a later date. So I'm not going to bore and digress. Here we go. So first of all, this is a Nimbus Modz LLC unregulated parallel box mod. Now, Nimbus Modz is created by a guy named Aaron Staub. He's a good friend of mine out of Pennsylvania. I've been in contact with him since last year. We've been rocking and rolling, talking about all kinds of cool stuff. Incidentally, we have a couple cool projects coming up in the future. I've got one of his brand new models that'll be coming up in the future that I'll be doing a follow-up review of with you guys. A little bit of a different build is going to be exciting. He has upgraded his builds since I've gotten this box, but not enough to keep this thing obsolete, because let me tell you, this is my go-to mod right here. I love this mod. It was the first unregulated that I'd ever had up to this point, and it's got miles on it, let me tell you. I got to choose personally the custom green color that goes with the backdrop here. You know, I got my Pacific Northwest fling style going on. It's very blingy, it's cool. And as you can see, the Nimbus cloud logo that he has on the base cover here. And if you switch it around on the lid, look at that, you got the signature Joe of All Vapes logo, am I right? So typically most people hit it with their thumb, and of course the build options you can change whether or not you want to hit it with your index finger or your thumb. I like to flip it around and conveniently with the Joe of All Vapes logo and hit it with my index. Awesome possum, that's what I'm talking about. So first of all, let's talk about power. Unregulated mods are good, especially this one in particular is good from about 180 watts up to 200 watts. Now, why is that good? Why should it even matter? You're probably asking yourself, if I can go to Nimbus Modz LLC and buy a base unregulated parallel for about 120 bucks, why don't I just buy a regulated 60 watt for 150? I mean, what are the significance between those two? And I'm going to explain that to you in real simple base language. Now, first of all, 60 to 70 watt box mods are really, really cool. They're easy to work with. It basically kind of sets a cap to the amount of resistance of the coil that you build. So that's kind of what we're getting to here. Most of this is left up to the capabilities of the individual. All the creators can do is make something that's going to fire reliably and make sure that it's going to basically live up to the standards of whatever it is that people like you and I want to do with these things, right? So the cool thing about this box mod, regulated from 180 to 200 watts, you can't adjust the wattage or the voltage for that matter, but this leaves you such a wide variety. It leaves you a carte blanche to be able to make whatever coil resistance you want safely within that range, of course, to be able to, I mean, come up with things anywhere between, 2 millimeter coil bells, 4 millimeter coil bells, down to little teeny tiny dragon coils that I love that you've seen on one of my previous reviews. Those are killers when it comes to vape. But so that is pretty much the cool thing about that. But the easiest thing about like some of the regulated 60 watts, it does allow you to regulate the wattage just a little bit more. So if you've got something like my Vengeance Council of Vapor sub-ohm tank right here, this is a 0.2 ohm coil. So I'm pretty much stuck at that position. But the resistance is much higher. The lower in the ohm, the higher the resistance, which means I can put a massive amount of power into this guy. It's going to give me massive vapor. And this box is going to produce the watts that I need to be able to give me a nice, warm, comfortable cloud. So what do I mean by parallel when I say parallel? Well, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that too. So first of all, we're going to open this guy up, and as you can see, very, very clean build. You've got the cover over the wire regulation going on right here. I'm going to take that off for you so you can kind of see what's going on. Very, very clean. Now, I know you guys have Googled box mods before, and some of you are, the newbies. You just see globs of like that hot glue, in the sealant and all that kind of stuff around the top and around the sides. Yeah, just kind of messy wires going on right here and, all over the place. Yeah, and that's fine and dandy. I'm not pointing fingers, not naming names, but this guy obviously has his work cut out for him. He's developed his own style, kept everything very nice and clean. You get the 510 connector here with the negative ground and then the positive going straight up. You got the heat shrinked MOSFET on the side, keeping everything very nice, very clean, very solid. I'm going to take off your convenient little handy dandy battery pull tab. And as you can see, you've got the sled stickers. So the battery sled stickers, for those of you that don't know the difference between parallel and series, I'm going to get into that just real briefly. Parallel is where both the positive and the positive and the negative and the negative, the side-by-side batteries are going straight up next to each other, hence parallel. Series are like the old school, kind of like when we were kids. We were taking the back off of a remote control for the TV, switching out the batteries. You got one positive going up and you got one negative going down. Now, what's the significance of that? So the parallel, and this is kind of debatable, it's in theory. Parallel basically states that your power output is going to be about, well, power is wattage, so we're not going to, I'm not going to get into the science of it. I'm going to put everything in the description below, incidentally. So all that kind of information, I'm going to give you some calculated information in the description below. Don't want to waste a bunch of time unnecessarily, but real simply, like I said, you can get about 4.2 volts out of a parallel build. Like I said, you can do the math for yourself. Go into Google, put in Ohm's law, I'll put some information in the description below. And basically what that states is that you get a little bit, you get all the power that goes into the unregulated wattage models, but you get a longer battery life out of that. Now that's in theory, it's in working theory. So far I've seen that works just fine and it applies, because I do have a series model box mod coming up for future review coming here pretty soon. Series models give out twice as many volts, 8.4, but you're probably going to be recharging the batteries just a little bit more often. For the cloud chasers, they like to say that they go typically for the series models because you get more power initially, just boom, just, I mean, straight to the atomizer, whatever build you want. And typically most series builds, you'll find that the vapors on those will, I mean, most of the time they're making their own coils. But you can put in a sub-ohm tank on an unregulated, as you've seen. Now, in my opinion, the cloud chasers that go for the series mods only, you know, they're pretty much strict and stuck on that. But you know what? I've had this forever and a day. I've been running around the block. I mean, I put a lot of miles on this guy. And let me tell you, as far as a parallel is concerned, this thing produces solid cloud. Massive cloud. Now, I've built my own coils on this. I've got a bunch of RDAs that I built. Whether you're busting it down to the teeny weeny little 24 gauge Dragon coil wraps, or you've got your sub ohm, or you're busting it up to like you know, like a 0.3 or what have you. This really does give a solid output. It's a very light box. It's a CNC milled Hammond, no lean. Okay, anybody's familiar with the Hammond lean? These boxes come from the manufacturer, Hammond Manufacturing, with a bit of kind of an uneven cutting edge around some of the surface. So typically what you got to do if you want to make these, whether you're a DIY mod maker yourself, or somebody like Aaron who makes these things through Nimbus Modz LLC, you got to sand them down or something like that. You know, Aaron doesn't do that because he gets the best models, but you got to sand them down and then you got to kind of polish them up or something like that. Then you put them flat on a table and there they sit, they, you know, without falling over, kind of cockeyed a little bit or something like that. So that's a little bit of lingo for the Hammond lean. These do not have the Hammond lean, so that's really cool with this. The other cool thing about working with Aaron at Nimbus Modz LLC is that you can submit your own picture. So you got a family coat of arms, you got some awesome patch, a saying, a sticker, you know, whatever, a quote out of the Bible, something like that. You give him a little bit of time and about a 2 to 3 week turnaround time for the custom orders, and you'll have something just ripping awesome like that. You know, that he can work with in just a myriad of colors. So Nimbus Box Mods really has just kind of a really cool designed box. It's very clean on the inside, as we've said. You got the reset magnets that hold the cover together, just like that. I mean, it's simple. It ain't going anywhere. And you know, I can bust off my sub-ohm tank here, and you've got your standard 510 connector. Now, there are a ton of cool features for these. You can get these in pretty much whatever color you can imagine. I'm talking if you're blingy, if you're sparkly, you want something with just kind of a clear finish like this, or you want something that's just a little bit stronger, kind of like the Tough Coat you spray in the back of your trucks. You can get something kind of along the lines of that. You can get a granite finish, something that makes it just a little bit easier to hold on to. This is kind of a smooth finish, which I got no problem with because it's easier to put in and out of my pocket, you know what I'm saying? You can pretty much get as much as you want into these. The price is going to go up as far as the design, and it doesn't matter whether you buy one of his parallel series, regulated, unregulated. You can get all the custom work on these guys that you want. So we're talking about price now. First of all, this is a base unregulated model. This is going to cut you about 120 bucks, which is a hell of a good deal, especially for the kind of warranty values that the guy puts on these things. All of the mods are built with copper high drain 50 amp wire. You're going to get the best craftsmanship out of this. You know, the guy definitely knows what he's doing. He's been around for a while. He's got a great name. I was lucky to find it and get a hold of him. And, you know, it worked out so well between him and I that we decided to go co-opt on a secret project, if you will, sometime in the future. That's going to be pretty cool. I'll allude a little bit towards that in one of my next reviews here. It's going to be an exciting future, definitely for Joe of All Vapes, and hopefully for you guys. I want to give so much more information on that, but I want to give you guys something to read in the description below. So, prices, categories, shipping, colors, pretty much all colors you can think of. All colors are done in a professional powder coating facility that it gets shipped out on the East Coast, and basically everything is fairly local within Aaron's capabilities. The shipping is incredibly reasonable. This guy is super, super easy to work with, so don't think you're going to be talking to one of those shrewd individuals that just kind of wants to shuffle around your money, shuffle around your time, and just feed you with a load of BS. This is a really, really good quality box. This guy definitely knows what he's doing. I don't care whether he's in his mom's basement or whether he's in his garage. I mean, let's face it, some of the best products started out of a garage, am I right? And this guy definitely is worth the time and your money and the effort to build something that is quality, that you can consider something that you're going to be proud to vape with for quite some time. And I've dropped this darn thing at least half a dozen times, and no chipping. Let me tell you something. It's good to go. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is real simple, easy to remember, and it's going to be a no-brainer, but unfortunately, eventually, sometime, hopefully, and I pray that you don't forget this, make sure that series or parallel is definitely what you want one way or the other. Do the research, do the math, discover which one is right for you, whether you're a coil builder and you want to go with the unregulated. Understand that it also has a little bit to do with the experience that you have in coil building and the understanding that you have within Ohm's law, just to at least a smidge. Now, if you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of Ohm's law and figuring out watts and volts and amps and all that happy stuff, I would suggest going with a regulated mod, getting yourself a sub-ohm tank and basically just following the wattage output advice given to you on the coils that are sent with the sub-ohm tank that you buy for these guys. But if you're like me, you're crafty, you want to look into doing this stuff for yourself, you really want to understand it, even to a basic knowledge, it's really not that difficult when you just kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it. Now, there's a lot of people on a lot of forums that are happy to explain that kind of stuff for you. Like I said, I'll give some information in the description below. If you have any further questions, you can also get a hold of Aaron at Nimbus Modz LLC. He'll answer whatever questions you have within reason. Don't bug the guy 24/7. But he's always willing to help somebody that has just a simple question. Very easygoing guy. Nimbus Modz LLC is definitely a Joe of All Vapes 2 thumbs up. Super happy I had the opportunity to work with this guy. It's a great, great unregulated mod, and I will definitely be using this thing until it burns dry, let me tell you. So that wraps it up for my first box mod review of March Mod Madness. I want to give it up again for Nimbus Modz LLC. Aaron Staub, you're a great guy. Really appreciate your support, brother. And if you dig this review, please stay tuned here at Joe of All Vapes on YouTube. I've got 6 more box mods coming in throughout the month of March and the rest of the year. Going to be much more in-depth, some other stuff, some series and some regulated, along with some PWMs as well, and just different companies, different flavors, different touches here and there. tons and tons of information coming at you, and you know, there really is such a wide variety available to us, which is very, very cool. Hopefully we can raise awareness and just spread the word of the goodness of vaping and keep our cause alive. There's a lot of nitty-gritty and crap going on there, especially in California right now. I hope you guys all signed Jerry Brown's petition. I know I did, just to make sure that the government keeps their regulative, greedy little fingers out of something that we all enjoy and love doing. Because there's a lot of people like Aaron that make money doing this, a lot of people like myself that enjoy doing this, you know, just what I do for you guys, and we want to make sure that the advocacy stays up. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Once again, if you get the opportunity, please go on to joeofallvapes_2 on Instagram. Give me a follow. Check out my giveaway that I've got going on right now. And I'm going to have one more awesome giveaway every month throughout the year till Kingdom Come. So everybody's going to get a chance to win some juice, some awesome swag, and I got some mods that I'm giving away coming up in the next few months throughout the rest of the year. So exciting, exciting stuff. Once again, thank you for watching. And by all means, as my good buddy Aaron Staub from Nimbus Modz LLC would like to say, keep it cloudy with a Nimbus Box Mod.